Got it? Okay. So, welcome to the Treasure Forum.
The Treasure Forum?
The fundraising forum. My God, stop. Okay, so welcome to the fundraising forum. If you were in the Treasure Forum, Raj kind of talked a little bit about fundraising. Yeah. Okay, so Sana, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, okay, guys, I'm Sana Irshad. A fun fact about me is that I want to be a neurosurgeon, hence the AP Bio class I regret taking. Oh, also, Braxton was supposed to be on here, but he has work, so
Yes.
it's here.
I'm on trend. I'm the LTG of Division 30, and fun fact about me, I've lived in 4 continents.
You
So today's goals are to develop an understanding of methods of like fundraising for nonprofit, like which is us share knowledge with each other, like we can learn from each other how we fundraise and yeah, and like lay a groundwork for success. So we come up with a plan for you guys to fundraise, and then we'll start with fundraising rundown. What is fundraising? Fundraising is an asset and resource from various sources that can support or an organization. So basically, you gain money for us to help others.
very good. Um, what are some things you need to have in place before you start fundraising? Make sure you have a budget in place, like how much money you need to raise, and then a nonprofit tax status. So if people like donate to you, you have to, or first of all, be like, hey, Key Club is a nonprofit, and then talk about like how they can get tax write-offs, and then a donor tracking database. Make sure you know who's donating to you, and then a system to quickly acknowledge donations and donors. So make sure you have a list of like people you can reach out to or you previously have reached out to, knowledge of available funding sources in your area and stuff that you can reach out to, basic materials about the organization. So make sure you know about Key Club before you start going around telling people to donate to Key Club. Same thing for the next one, firm knowledge of who you are, and then clarity and agreement about how the funds will be used. So we talked about that kind of in the treasure form if you were there, but like talk about LEDCon and how your club needs funds to manage.
Yeah, talk like how it will help the kids in their community, basically.
Why do people give? A person may give money for many reasons. This is the ABC, a person that gives money to a specific organization because of ability, belief, and contact. And then I think we talk about it again in the next slide. Oh yeah, what do you do? Find donors, look for people who will be able to have the ability to give and believe in your organization, and then ask. That's the hard part, but we'll get to that and how you can overcome your social anxiety on.
Okay, so where can you find these potential donors? You can ask board members or like your friends and family. Like we all know adults have Facebook. If you post something on Facebook and tell your parents, they'll share it, and like you meet so many of like your family friends that you haven't even met before. And then you can look at partnering organization, like we partner with UNICEF, or like we partner with like other Kiwanis, like, and they'll give you money if you ask for it. They have the money waiting for you. And then you need to create a mailing list, like an email list or something that you can just send out every time you want to fundraise. And then if you were on the board of your school last year, you can ask like the last treasurer if they still have their like existing donor list, so like who they asked before your year. And then like I said, Kiwanis advisors and club sponsors. Internal fundraising, get your school involved. Like I
Wait,
know
before we start, there's like background noise, so if you're not speaking, please put yourself on mute. And if you have questions, drop them in chat box and we will get to it.
Okay, so get your school involved. Ask your friends at like if you're an officer, ask your friends who are not in Key Club to spread the word. Send them a text message And then tell your advisor to ask their fellow teachers if you can come up and speak about like what you're fundraising for, because sometimes teacher actually do care if you like tell them how much this project means to you. And then get other organization involved, so you can go ask like the coach of the softball team to like help you fundraise. Like if they sell something at the concession stand, they'll give you some of the profit, like that. And then put on events, like big events that people can enjoy, not like ones that's just like read a book, blah blah blah, but like a movie night or something. And then some examples is like a donut drive before school, selling stickers, or like selling your key club shirt.
Speaking of events, I think
Mhm.
my division is like some of the schools are partnering together and doing like a trunk or treat for kids, and it's going to be like
Yeah.
social distance and masks on everything, and that's going to help us a lot. So you guys can look at stuff like that. If I mean, it might be a little too late for you guys, but like for the next holiday season, try like doing stuff like that and um, joining other schools because I know membership is down this year a lot.
And like my school this year is like October, so we're doing like a costume contest, which we went and talked to the principal about. So you guys can probably do that and like make them pay like $35 to wear a costume to school or something, or like enter in a costume contest, like that. Like make it based around the month. And then external fundraising, get your community involved. Like go to local businesses like that isn't around anywhere else. They'll probably want to like promote their business if they really want like more customers, especially when like COVID is still here and like going people are going out less and less and their business is not doing as well as like Walmart or something. And then find a way to promote and cause a connection. Like talk to the organization or like the person in charge before you go in and talk meet with them in person, so like they can get to know a sense of who you are and why you're doing this, like why is it important to you. And then ask your family members and community members for donations. Like make posters around the school, send your family and friends a text. Like at my school we have like a thing called push days, so on that day you would like send a text out to everybody that's like about your cost, and then they just ask for a dollar, and if you send it out to everybody, that $1 adds up quick to like $50 quick. Okay. And then reaching out to businesses, like I said, just reach out. I know it may be hard, but like you just got to do it, just got to shoot your shot.
That's facts. Um, you can move on if you want. Okay, steps to fundraise. Also, speaking back on that, I know it's hard to ask like random people for money. A lot of you guys are probably like really anxious and not super like extroverted, but if you guys want to reach out to me, I will put my email later on in the box. And if you guys need like a template for a phone call, I know that helps a lot. And you can just fill in the blanks. Like I'll just be like, hi, blank, and you say your name, and then a good way to ask for money. Or if you guys need an email format, like outline, I will send that to you guys if you want it. So it'd be a lot easier for you guys to ask for money if you need it. Okay, moving on, steps to fundraise. Stage one, cultivation. Okay, identify potential donors in your area. So based on last year, if you guys are a reoccurring club, you probably have donors that normally donate to you or your Kiwanis advisor that you can look up and just ask your club sponsor about, or the old treasurer, they'll probably have a list of donors. And then build a relationship with them. I know for as LTGs, we have to raise like $750 for LED Con. So we build relationships with our Kiwanis advisors and they give us like money so we can go to LED Con. So that's also really good throughout the year. Make sure you're like talking to them. And that moves into gaining interest in the organization. Really make Key Club appealing to them. Don't just be like, yeah, lol, we volunteer. Just be like, talk about like our, what's the word, I can't think of the word, but talk about like our goals and stuff as an organization, and like take key aspects from the pledge and how we adapt to that. And then same thing with like the next one, showing the prospects of what the organization is about. Just tell them what it's really about, and just make it very appealing, because he can be very appealing.
Yeah, and for that, make sure you like show how like this organization is like important to you and how their money is going towards helping kids of their community.
Yeah, make it personal.
Yeah.
Stage 2, socialization, presenting the organization's case statement. So same thing as like the last slide, just appeal to them, and then participating in one-on-one, like what I'm saying, like what I was saying before, like talk to them personally, go out to lunch with the donor. I mean, because of the pandemic, you guys probably don't want to do that. So like just on a Zoom call, like a one-on-one, and talking about the organization. Sending direct mail prices with personalized notes, or pieces with personalized notes. Like I said, I have like a template if you guys want it, and then it has like a lot of appealing things to say about Key Club, and use fill in the blanks, and that would be good to send to them. And then same thing, phone calls, very good, because they know you care, and maybe people won't reply back, and we'll talk about that later, how to handle rejection, because we're Gen Z and we have an issue with that. So moving on, I think this is stage.
And like for the mail thing, make sure you like sign it. Don't like it makes it so much more personal when it's your handwriting and you sign it.
Yes, that is facts. Stage 3, stewardship. Thank donors by letting them know their gift made a difference. And we'll talk a lot more about thank you cards also later. You always have to remember to thank people. So like the next upcoming years, they will donate again. Maintaining donor relationships, like I said before. Maybe your last treasurer or something had a relationship with a specific donor. You want to make sure you're maintaining those relationships so they'll keep donating. Thank you letters, like I said, and then donor recognition activities. So like maybe at a social or something, you have like a poster saying thank you to, and then you write down like your donors. That's also a really good idea. Can we share this presentation with our club? Yes, I will ask. No, I have access to it. I will, if you drop your emails, if anyone wants to share it with them, drop your emails, and I will email those to you afterwards. And then you guys can send it out to your clubs if you want them, or just for yourself. Um, and then invitations to special events. Um, like I said, socials and stuff, like just be like, hey, come watch like what we do, or like activities. You can send them out to donors and be like, hey, come watch this event with us, and you can see what Key Club is all about. And then updates from the organization. So make sure like you're constantly updating them and being like, hey, we're doing this, we're doing that, you can come, and blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so fundraising tips. Social media fundraising. So like old people, they like Facebook a lot. So if you share on Facebook, like your parents would send it out a lot, and you would, like I said, you would meet so many of your parents' friends that you didn't even know about. And then crowdfunding. If you have like talk to your editor who's in charge of all your social medias, talk to them about making posts daily about like the event upcoming up to the event, and then make a big post like the multi, like make sure your members share the post. And then fundraising secrets of success. So to you must know the mission of what Key Club is. Like you need to know what our goals are, what is it? What's the word? But you need to know why we're doing this, what we do to like help the community, what we do to help the kids in the clubs, in general, and then you need to know how to ask. And so Sana will give you the outline for that. And you need to just step out of your comfort zone. If you're an officer, you should start learning how to do that and overcoming your fears, and that will help you become a better officer.
Okay, so I'll email the presentation to you guys, and then everyone who dropped their email in the next 2 days, be on the lookout for one of those, the email outline and the phone call outline, because I'll just send it to everyone who dropped their email in the chat.
Oh, and I think if the governor sends out an email to the LTG, your LTG will probably like forward it to you if you need it.
Yeah,
And,
I can ask Karina to send it.
and all forums will be on our YouTube, our Texas Oklahoma District YouTube. And then think before you bang. Within 74 hours, make a personal thank you call or thank you note. Please, please, please always thank your donors. Like tell them how their money helped your cause. Like always go in depth with that.
Okay. How to handle rejection. Okay, Gen Z, this is our time. Don't take it personally. Don't be like, oh my gosh, they didn't like me, blah, blah, blah. That's not the case. Maybe they already donated to some organization, or they just don't have a lot of money right now because of Corona. So do not take it to heart. Let's not be sensitive. Keep the door open. Maybe they don't want to donate right now because they're not doing well financially because of the pandemic, but maybe later on in the year they will want to, because during springtime you guys might need money for something. So make sure to keep that door open, and then offer any additional information to change the prospect's mind. So yeah, maybe you didn't go super in depth with Key Club and didn't appeal to them, but that's why I'm telling you guys, go super in detail with the key aspects of Key Club, and the super personal like connections will make them want to donate more. So like on said, simple things like signing your name and not printing a signature, like on letters if you're mailing them out, like that type of stuff will probably encourage them to donate more. Okay, and that was our ending. So if anyone has any questions, you can turn on your mic and talk, or you guys can send it in the chat and we'll answer it. I think we kind of went over everything. If you guys have any questions pertaining to like coronavirus and stuff like that and how you guys should do something, we can help you with that, because I've been dealing with that quite a bit because of my club sponsors. So if you guys need anything, send in the chat. I'll just like wait a couple minutes, but let me put this into a Google Doc so I can use this later on. To email to you guys. But I will start getting that email outline, that phone call outline out to you guys, to everyone who sent it in the chat. And I'll probably tell the governor to send an email to the LTG so they can send it to you guys too, because that will be very useful. So be on the lookout for that. Anywho, you guys were pretty good. Love the AP Chem discussion and the bio. But gosh, so many people dropped their emails. I'm just gonna copy and paste this whole chat. Do we go back to the main one now?
Yeah, if we're done. If you guys don't have any questions, you can start heading back to the main forum.
But I don't think it starts until 11:15. So if you guys want to chill out here,
yeah,
you guys can do that. I don't think we start until 11:15 for that.
I think the main forum is always open. Hang on.
You guys have any tips on? You guys, why is my screen's getting covered? Do you guys have any tips on organizing donation drives? Our club is exploring the possibility of a holiday one, but you never really start. Okay, this is a good question. Donation drives. So if you're talking about like cans and like items for like certain organizations, like I know we do a baby diaper drive and like canned food drive. So with the pandemic, to make it super contactless, we are setting up boxes in like different areas of the school or different parts of our community, and we text out on Remind or email for people to go to those locations and drop off cans or like whatever the drive may be into that box. So we don't have to, because normally we would do it through our club sponsors. We'd be like, okay, go to their classroom, drop it off, and then we'll take it. But because of all the contact, we're just putting a box up and telling people to come and drop it off over there. Um,
And like for my school, like what works for us is if you talk to your principal and figure out how like you can do a prize, like a longer lunch, a pizza party for the class who like raises the like donates the most. Like people go crazy if they get like a party or extra lunch time.
Bro, school parties just hit different. Okay, I can't explain possible. Okay, you don't know where to start. So I would say reach out, because I know for Oklahoma, if you're from Oklahoma, um, what's it called? If you're from Oklahoma, we have the Oklahoma Regional Food Bank, and they always need donations. So you can do like canned food drives and stuff like that, and have people bring food. So that's a good organization if you're from Oklahoma. And if you're from Texas, I'm sure you can find like different organizations that also need help,
Mhm.
especially like local shelters and stuff, like the baby diaper drive. You can reach out to them and then have people like bring diapers and baby needs for people in the.
Also, look at like elementary schools near you. Like a lot of teachers need school supplies, so you can do a school supply drive that will help them.
Okay, okay. Someone just said that the Tarrant area food bank is good for Texas that needs help. So all my Texans in the chat, that's for you. Somebody asked me a question privately. When making fundraisers with restaurants, how do we ensure we meet the money requirement during COVID? Um, So one of my clubs is actually focusing on that right now. One of the things that they decided to do in my division, I'm from 40 West, is that I never changed my name. I'm from 40 West, that's my division. They're, so our high schools are actually relatively close to each other in my division. So I made a division-wide contact sheet with all the club sponsors, all the officers, and emailed it to all of them so they can contact with each other. So our sponsors are actually collabing with each other, and they're doing like the restaurant stuff, and they can split the donations how they want because there's not a lot of members in some of my clubs because of coronavirus. So I would say you can collab with other clubs in your area and say, hey, do you want to do this restaurant? And have them like contact the restaurant, like do everything. And then a lot of clubs, maybe you have bigger clubs that will help you reach that requirement. You can reach out to them and be like, hey, let's collab with this restaurant to raise funds for our clubs, and we can split the money that we get, because that's just sadly has to be the case with everything going on recently.
A lot of like clubs are doing like a lot of restaurants are doing restaurant nights. So basically the profit, half of the profit or like an amount of the profit goes to you. So if you start like reaching out to like local businesses, they'll help you.
Yeah, he's asking about the money requirement. So yeah, to if you guys don't have enough people to reach the money requirement, definitely collab with other clubs in your school or other
Yeah.
key clubs in your area, and that will help you. I know if you're online, it's super hard to reach out to members because usually we have like a club day at school where everyone will be crowding the halls and going to a table for a club, but we obviously can't do that. So we've had to resort to making posters around our school, and saying it over the announcements helped a lot. And then going on the older mind and texting everyone that's not a senior to join again. Instagram. A lot of my clubs for some reason don't have an Instagram, but Instagram is your best friend at this time. I'm telling you right now. So a lot of student councils for schools have an Instagram. So what we did, or I told one of my clubs to do, was make an Instagram, go on that student council for that school, and or like see who liked their post and follow everyone on there that's from your school, and then they'll follow you back most likely because they'll see their name, their school's name, like for Deer Creek it's like Deer Creek High School Key Club. So um, that's really good. That's a really good way to reach out to new people since we can't do a lot in person. I think that's all I have for that. But if anyone else has any questions, it doesn't have to be related to fundraising. I know you guys have a lot of questions about Key Club in general with a pandemic. So if you guys just want to talk about that, we can do that too. We have time. Is this meeting timed on?
I don't know. This is Braxton's account. I'm on Braxton's account.
Braxton said we have like 40 minutes, but like I don't see a timer because on Rogers there's a timer. Yeah. What are some service ideas that y'all are doing? Some service ideas we're doing. I'm trying to think right now. I'm trying to keep a track of all my clubs. Before I mentioned the trunk or treat, so they're like making the cars like every other parking spot, and they're collabing with other schools in our division, and it's gonna be social distance. And instead of like handing candy to kids, they're doing little goodie bags, and a lot of people might show up to that because of coronavirus and them not wanting to trick or treat at their houses. So they're making like little separate goodie bags, gloves on, masks on, and handing it to the kids. So
yeah, because like COVID, it's like pretty prominent now, and like I don't think houses are gonna open up to like let the kids trick or treat. So if you really,
not gonna happen in my house.
So basically, if you host a trick or treat, I think most parents would want their kid to go because that's candy, and they'll pay for that. And like you can raise money towards an organization or help the kids with something, or like tutoring one-on-one. That's pretty good, friendly, COVID friendly.
Let me give you, if you guys follow the Texas, Oklahoma, sorry, I'm looking it up right now. It's just, I'll just send it in the chat, even though it's not. It's just TOQ Club on Instagram. They always post service ideas, and I'm gonna read some to you so you can write them down or whatever you want.
Or you can, if you have an Instagram, you can look them up. Yeah.
Just give me a second. Okay, wait. I'm trying to find it. Okay. If you're online, here are some good service ideas to do. Make masks and donate them to your local hospitals. So I know like mask shortages aren't like a huge thing anymore, but with new COVID patients and like the mask wearing out, hospitals are always looking for like new masks to have. And another thing, a lot of kids at the shelters don't have really good masks. So if you guys want to make masks, I hate saying that word, bro. Okay, if you guys want to make them and then donate them to other like shelters and stuff that are really in need, you guys can do that. They're not super hard to make. You guys could go on Zoom and hold a workshop showing how to make them. You can learn from YouTube. It's super easy. And there's probably a lot of creative people or club members and will love to do that. So that would be good. And then send thank you cards to first responders. That's always a good thing. You can just have people write them at home and decorate them, and then send them to your local fire station. What am I thinking? Okay, you send them to your local hospital, send them to doctors, nurses, take them to your doctor if you're going to get a flu shot or something like that. Make sure to send thank you cards because they are working super hard on the front lines. Make and give away hygiene care packages. Yeah. That is a really good one. So I know for our governor's project, we have bags of hope. If you guys haven't heard about that, they're basically like little baggies that we give to foster kids and put like stuff that they might need in them. So you guys can do that. And to get the stuff that you need for those care packages, you can hold a drive that I talked about earlier with the boxes everywhere. So that would help. Write letters to nursing homes. especially with like our senior citizens being super prone to COVID. A lot of them are having to stay inside and stay away from their family. So writing like little cute letters and stuff like that to them and saying like just I don't know, like anything to them, just comforting them in this time is really good, and that's a good service activity that you can tell
Or
people.
like you guys can make a get well basket for like patients in the hospital
Yeah,
that's suffering through COVID.
or just like anything you can
Yeah.
do that. It's really cute. Record yourself reading books to send to little kids. That is a good one. So a lot of elementary school teachers would probably appreciate that, especially since they're online. They could send it out to their kids as like an assignment or something. You can reach out to your local elementary schools, have people send them videos of them like reading books, so then the little kids can watch it and be super entertained because I know they would love that. And then take a walk and pick up trash around your community. That is always a great one. You can tell people to record themselves doing it and send it to you to get points. I know for my divisional project, I think I'm thinking about like doing something like that because it's super contactless and telling people that they can pick up trash around the community. There's this thing called Adopt a Street where you just watch the street the entire like Key Club year and pick up any trash like once a month or once a week that may be on that street and keeping your streets clean. Um, that is a really good idea. And then planting trees, maybe you can have people go in pairs and like plant a tree, like if they're friends and like are hanging out with each other. They can plant like little trees or plants around your local parks or like around your school and community. I always think that's a good idea, but those are like pretty good for online school, I would assume. Um, and I think that is a good rundown. I know there's a lot more ideas on the Instagram, and I think my clubs probably have a lot more ideas too, but those are just simple ones that anyone can do, unless On has some.
You covered most of them.
And